Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits. I'm Mighty, with me is Ray.
Hello, everybody.
My little squirrel pal, and we're gonna punch through this one. So basically, the trailer released for Sonic Mania Plus, and while we did know a lot of the details, there are quite a few new ones and a new date. So first off, they were releasing it earlier, so it's going to be July 17th instead of August 28th, which I believe originally was the date that Kiwami 2 was coming out as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Sega's spacing their releases out. I don't know, but I'm just glad that we're getting Mania Plus a little earlier. And we're going to have, you know, we know that Mighty and Ray's going to be in it, that there's going to be an Encore Mode and other things, but now we have more details about those. So the first big stuff came from Aaron Weber himself. So he said, there are no new levels announced, however, we will get to play a bit of Angel Island. How do you think that'll work out?
I don't know, but it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of, I'm interested in that. I want to see more of that. What do you think about having no new levels? Is that like a deal breaker for you, or is it not that big of a deal? Because, you know, recreating high quality levels on Sonic Mania standards, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think they should save that work for a sequel. I think with the Angel Island thing, it's probably going to be like Knuckles Chaotix, where when you start the game, you're just like going through a simple level before the cutscene starts. Which, honestly, I was hoping they would do that in Mania, because I thought it was kind of cheap that they basically ripped off the Sonic 3 intro, and we didn't even get to play in Angel Island, even though the assets were there.
Well, now we can.
Now we can. The other thing Aaron said was that the physical edition is $30, DLC is $5 if you already own Mania, and he also said that the save data should work from digital to physical. And he said, in addition to this, Sonic Mania Plus is going to be a free update that will arrive right around the same time that adds quality of life improvements, he calls it, including more level transitions, expanded save options, etc. And we've seen some leaks. We haven't reported on it because I know Sega gets mad when leaks get posted on our news page, and we want to play nice with them. But you can find them on Twitter and stuff.
And what is your opinion on all this, charging $5 for DLC? I mean, I think that's a fair price. I think nobody's forcing users to go buy it physically. And I think people complained a lot that they wanted a physical version. And I also think that this Plus edition with the new quality of life updates really is perfecting the package that they delivered last year?
Yeah, last year. And from what I remember, how much was Sonic Mania? Wasn't it $20 digital?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so really you're getting the full game for $5 less digitally, which is, I think, totally fair. The physical one, you get an art book, you get a reversible cover, you get a slip sleeve. In Japan, they're actually getting Mega Drive art, which is really cool, and they're getting a soundtrack CD as well. And
you're gonna import it, aren't you?
I want to get probably the PS4 one, just because, you know. For Mighty and Ray, there are some new details. So Mighty will be able to do something called the hammer drop. So what you do is you jump twice to instantly drop down, and this is kind of like the bubble shield, basically, built in, which is pretty cool. And this was funny. So Ray does something called the air glide, and this actually became, I don't know what they call it, but on Twitter, you know, like they have the news stories that appear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it said something like, new Sonic character plays like Mario. And I'm like, what the hell? So I read it, and they're saying when Mario gets the yellow cape, that's what Ray controls like. So you jump, and then you jump again to glide, and then you use the D-pad to kind of like get air and then go down, you know, like kind of like what is it, Just Cause with the wingsuit in the third game?
Yeah. I know what they're trying to say here.
Yeah,
and that's pretty good. I think this is pretty cool information. I like the fact that they're trying to change the characters. This is something that Sonic Mania team has done really well, I think, trying to keep all this stuff different but the same, sort of.
Yeah, and well, I'm really glad that they gave them special abilities, because that's what always excited me about the old Sonic games. And as soon as we got stuff like Shadow, where he just played exactly like Sonic, I think they lost the plot.
Yeah.
So, the last bit I wanted to talk about was Encore Mode. So what this is the stages will have different gimmicks and color palettes, and this is cool. This is new information, so you can switch between the 5 characters when button prompts show up. So what I believe happens is that you're playing the game and there's a little image here, like Sonic encounters Mighty, and then a thought bubble appears with the Y, and if you want to continue the adventure as Mighty, you just press the button. So that's pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, and it's really using the resources they already have and doing something unique with it. I think this is something that this team has done really well lately.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also 4-player mode, and they don't look squashed from what I can tell, so that's really nice.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's not retro, so I don't know if people might dislike that. But yeah. So is there anything else Mania-wise that you wanted to make mention of? What'd you think of that trailer?
The trailer was really awesome. I think this is something that the Sonic Mania team, or at least the Sonic team that's doing this kind of stuff here, I'm assuming the social media team, has really knocked it out of the park with.
Yeah.
Is their trailers and like hyping up old fans.
Yeah, and just that one image they used for the Mania Plus trailer of the characters in the elevator, like, it tells you so much. Like, Ray's looking at Tails kind of like, you know, I kind of predate you as sidekick. And Knuckles and Mighty are like doing oh, I haven't seen you since 1993 sort of like bro fist, which is really funny. So
I hope that the main Sonic team in Japan kind of gets inspired by this, and hopefully they treat the characters with more characterization like this, like little hints like that.
Yeah, less of that long time no see. All right, where's Dr. You know, that's all they do in the new games.
If you could pick any character to add on this game, who would it be?
Amy Rose. I'd want her to be playable.
Same, because like her older design I think is way cooler. The costume and stuff in the Sonic CD is way cooler than the Sonic Adventure costume.
Yeah.
So I would want to see that.
I'd love to see like a whole new sprite set of her, and they already have a reference, like the hammer attack she uses in Sonic Advance games. Like, just, you know, reuse that. It works. So to those watching, what do you think of Sonic Mania Plus and all the new things revealed? Are you looking forward to getting it a month early? And, you know, if you like our SEGA News Bits stuff, why don't you consider supporting us on Patreon? We have a special show called SEGA News Bits Extra, where each week we cover the SEGA news we didn't get to on the main channel. And some of them get pretty long, so you're definitely getting a very good amount of content for your money.